So, first of all, the first story is why India is quite literally sprinting towards solar energy. Every great shift in history begins when people choose to move literally and figuratively. That's what the official Instagram account for the Indian government's rooftop solar project said when they were advertising a fun run, what they call a marathon, but actually 2 kilometers to 5 kilometers races in line with this solar rooftop installation milestone. So India hit the record 270,000 solar rooftop installations in April 2026, a milestone that the government marks not with a press briefing, but with a fun run. So India's Ministry for New and Renewable Energy hosted the Run for Sun Marathon in New Delhi on May 3rd, which actually is International Sun Day. So that makes sense for solar energy, right? They basically turned their clean energy milestone into a mass participation event. And I think this is really thoughtful and savvy. Posters for the event said calling all solar energy enthusiasts to Run for Sun, a citizen centric initiative powered by India's solar energy movement. So the messaging is encouraging participation in India's rooftop solar program, which by the by, offers subsidies, lower electricity bills, and the ability to sell surplus power back via schemes. But this idea sits within a larger economic backdrop of what India is up to as well. So in Davos earlier in the year, India positioned itself as one of the world's largest and most clean energy ready investment markets, saying it requires 300 to 350 billion in renewable energy investment by 2030. That narrative is also already translated into corporate action. So last week, Apple expanded its clean energy footprint in India with a 10.6 million investment as its own 2030 climate deadline nears. What's the connection there? India is a massive part of Apple's global supply chain. So for them, the ability to get clean energy in India is becoming an operational and a climate strategy. So for a lot of multinationals, India is no longer just a manufacturing hub. It's actually become perhaps a grid decarbonisation test case at scale as well. So, what does all this mean? India's going out looking for renewable energy investment and it's also encouraging its citizens to get involved. Where the sport element comes in is a really smart alignment of energy policy and mass participation sporting events. So, what they've done is turn a technical adoption milestone into something cultural, something visible, and something engaging as well. So, the Run for Sun event is messaging infrastructure, basically, instead of communicating solar adoption through a report or a press release or some posts on social media. The policy is turned into a civic event which embodies movement, participation, and shared experience, what they're also trying to encourage through the uptake of solar. To me, there's several objectives that it achieves here. So it reframes this policy uptake as participation instead of something perhaps dry, straightforward, bureaucratic, etc., in terms of reaching an energy policy, which often would turn people off in terms of governments putting out information about reaching targets in this area. It shifts the solar adoption into not just an energy story, but also a national pride narrative as well, in terms of getting its citizens involved, bringing them out and bringing them together. It links clean energy, subconsciously, I think, to health, to fitness, to public well-being as well, and obviously subtly connect renewables to air quality and livability, where places are moving to renewable energy, the air quality obviously will be improved, something that India has struggled with over the years. We've seen lots of reports out of India's cricket, especially its international cricket scene, of heavy air pollution in those areas. So again, connecting this clean energy with the fun run and mass participation event, fitness and health, I think it's a really, really strong connection. So it's a subtle shift where sport formatting as such is being used as this public interface layer to make something that maybe is more abstract feel immediate and human. I can really see other governments globally following suit here. One to watch. I wonder who we'll see with a similar effort next.